This is the first time I've ever been up on stage.
I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I've got 4 boys, I coach the basketball team, and I'm not taking the traditional route to make it big in this business. I find myself, because of that, doing some of the weirdest shows you can imagine. I've performed the same week in front of 1,000 people in a theater, and two nights later I was performing in an alley for 7 people and a dog.
Please welcome Alex Stokes.
I think starting stand-up comedy at a point in my life that I did, at 36 years old, I was already accustomed to being with my kids a lot. So it's harder for me to just up and go than a lot of the guys that are younger and then become fathers once they become accustomed to the comedy. To me, though, that's what makes this such an interesting job. There's no telling where I'm going to be tomorrow night. I could be in a church. I could be at a rowdy bar. Bar shows are my favorite. They're unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what the heckler's going to be like.
How you guys doing tonight?
I was 36 years old. I was a stockbroker for 14 years, and all of a sudden I became a single dad with 2 boys. And I found out about an open mic at Side Splitters Comedy Club in Knoxville. Never even been to a comedy club before in my life. I forced myself to go sit through this open mic. It was just, the whole experience just blew me away. I waited 24 hours, got home, sitting around on the computer, typed up an email to sign up for the next one, and finally I just hit send, and then I started freaking out. I freaked out for a full week. I was working with my boss at the bank. I was like, I don't know what to do. I got to write these jokes. I wrote these 6 minutes of jokes. Right before my first open mic, I decided I hated all the jokes that I wrote, and I started freaking out again. And once I got up there and I did it, and I was immediately hooked. And the high from that first 6 minutes, it lasted a couple days, but then I was immediately back down to, okay, that was a bucket list kind of thing. But then I started. The more I thought about it, I was like, that was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll give it one more try. And so I kept going, just like every week. I got worse, and I got better. And before you do it, things just started taking off quickly. And I don't know if it was because I was a little older than most of the guys, and I was a little bit more driven at that point. But I began taking it very serious, very quickly. And about a year later, I just gave up my entire banking and investment career and just went for it. And that's how it started.
But my 14-year-old, he's funny too. Matter of fact, about a month ago, he comes running in the house. He's like, Dad, you are not going to believe this. I just won the wittiest award for the entire 8th grade out of like 500 students. I was like, Bud, I am so proud of you. That is awesome. He's like, no, Dad. Seriously, you deserve all the credit. I was like, you know what, that's nice of you to say, but just because I'm a comedian doesn't mean that I made you funny. He goes, no, seriously, Dad, you deserve all the credit because your strap-on joke's been killing it in the cafeteria.
So after about 6 months, I ran out of money again, even though I wasn't even paying rent because comedy wasn't paying anything. And so I took like 6 of my best books and met a woman in a parking lot off of Magnolia Avenue, a book dealer, and sold. It was probably $12,000 worth of books for $1,500 just to pay my bills.
And I have to say that first orgy was freaking awesome.
So one of the weirdest shows I would have to say I've ever done was I got booked to do this by one of my good friends, J.C. Ratliff. He booked me to do this show at a bar called Boots and Spurs in Johnson City, Tennessee. And so Jenny and I drive down there. It's like tornado weather. We look on the GPS, find this huge parking lot, and all we see is this. It's like a bowling alley, and there's what looks to be a bar, but it didn't have the name Boots and Spurs on it. It just had a disco ball in the front of the front entrance. So we walk into this place. It's a huge place, and it looks like an old Western restaurant. It's got like the steer horns up on the wall. We've got like a mechanical, the remnants of a mechanical bull. It's over in the corner. There's literally only 4 people there sitting at the bar. And so the woman that owns the bar is like, well, let's just go and get this started. We're actually going to have you guys perform on the bar and not on the stage. Standing on this on the bar, walking back and forth, and I have to duck because my head almost hits a Dale Earnhardt Jr. miniature car, which is dangling from the ceiling. At that point, I should have known it should have been time to quit, but I still had like 30 minutes left. About 5 minutes later, I get interrupted by one of the guys at the bar. He's like, "Dude, you're just gonna have to hold on a minute. We're gonna have a pickled egg eating contest, and just hold your jokes for a minute. We're gonna get this going." Well, I look in the corner, and my good friend Jake James, who is also a comedian here in Knoxville, was laughing because he's the one that got that started. This is a big part of my life too.
Alright, that's all I got. Thanks a lot, guys.
So I drive all the way to Johnson City, do a show for 4 people while standing on the bar, almost hit my head on a Dale Earnhardt Jr. car, and get interrupted halfway through my set to watch 2 guys have a pickled egg eating contest. So if you're thinking about doing stand-up comedy, you might want to read my book first. Then a couple of weeks later, I'll be doing a corporate show for funeral home employees, which, by the way, I've done.